Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, it is the production of haploid sex cells or the gametes, ovum by female and spermatozoa by male from the germ cell line of each parent. Each carries one half of the genetic complement of the parents. The production of ovum is termed oogenesis and the production of spermatozoa is called spermatogenesis. Both oogenesis and spermatogenesis provide a mechanism through which a genetic information of mother and father is passed to offspring. The fusion of spermatozoa and ova is the fertilization, resulting in a zygote with a fully restored diploid genome. Genome means the total complete number of the chromosomes. Next we'll know the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis means origin, spermato means spermatocyte, origin of spermatocyte. Spermatogenesis is the process of sperm cell development. Rounded immature sperm mother cells undergo successive mitotic and meiotic divisions and a metamorphic change to produce spermatozoa. Then it has mitosis and meiotic divisions. Let us know the mitosis. Mitosis is the process of cell duplication. Two daughter cells are formed with exactly the same DNA and chromosomal content of the original diploid 2N mother cell. Mitosis encompasses just one step in the eukaryotic cell cycle. Here, this mitotic cell division, before entry into the mitotic cell division, it has interphase. Interphase contains G1, S and G2 phases. So, after that enters into mitotic division. In this karyokinesis takes place after followed by cytokinesis. So, cells grow during the dormant G1 phase. In G1 phase, enlargement of cell takes place. So, increases their size. Then in the S phase, that is the synthesis phase, a replication of chromosomes occur in the S phase. Here synthesis of DNA takes place. Then preparation for mitosis occurs during G2 phase. This is also increases replication of organelle and synthesis of microtubules takes place in G2 phase. Interphase includes the combined stages of G1, S and G2 phases. Then enter into mitosis. After interphase, it enters into mitotic division. Chromosomes condense, the nuclear envelopes disappears and spindle fibers begin to form from microtubules, that is seen in prophase. Centromeres of duplicate sister chromatids align along the spindle equator. Equator is seen in metaphase. Chromatids separate and migrate towards opposite poles, that is seen in anaphase. The mitotic apparatus is disassembled. Autonomous nuclear envelopes are re-established in the telophase and the chromosomes uncoil. The final stage of cell cycle, when cell division actually occurs, is called cytokinesis. After karyokinesis, in the karyokinesis we can see prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. After that it is followed by cytokinesis, division of cytoplasm, division of cell. that is known as cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means kinesis is division. Cyto means cyton, that means cell. Cell is divided into two. That is seen in mitotic division. Now let us see the meiosis. It is a special process of reduction division. It results in the formation of four gametes containing half, that means 1n, the number of chromosomes found in somatic cells. Haploid gametes unite at fertilization to create a diploid zygote. Meiosis differs from mitosis in two critical respects. During prophase of meiosis, chromosomes pair along their length and come in contact in discrete areas of synapses. So it is seen in zygotine. The first prophase contains 5 stages. They are namely leptotene, zygotine, pachytene, diplotene and diakinesis. Synapses will occur in the zygotine. Then chiasma, crossing over of chromosomes, takes place in pachytene stage. Chromatids can exchange base pairs by crossing over. It is also seen in that pachytene stage. The recombination of segments of chromosomes allows genetic variability and provides a mechanism for correcting damage in the DNA helix. Then secondly, non-identical sister chromatids do not replicate between serial nuclear divisions. Meiosis II is essentially a mitotic division. So after first meiotic division, the half number chromosomes becomes half numbered. One cell produces half numbered, two cells are formed. In the second meiotic division, it is nothing but of mitotic division. Here one cell each produces two cells. Like that, 4 gametes, 4 cells are formed with half number of chromosomes. Now we can see spermatocytogenesis. Spermatocytogenesis means here primordial germ cells, that is spermatogonia, proliferate by mitosis. Mitosis ends when a spermatogonium yields 2 primary spermatocytes. A primary spermatocyte is transformed into 2 secondary spermatocytes with 1n chromosomal number during meiosis I. The second meiotic division is rapid and 4 larger spermatocytes or spermatids are formed at the end with haploid number of chromosomes. Males have an almost unlimited capacity to produce germ cells. Now we'll see the spermiogenesis. This is not a cell division. Here spermatids undergo a dramatic change in their shape by undergoing metamorphosis during spermiogenesis. This involves nuclear condensation, formation of the acrosomal cap and development of a tail. The acrosome is derived from the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus develops that acrosome. It helps to penetrate into the ovum. Centrioles migrate to a post-nuclear region after the completion of meiosis. The distal centriole provides a template for accretion of cytoskeletal elements comprising the contractile lattice of the tail. mitochondria become concentrated into the sheath of the middle piece. So this mitochondria gives energy for motility of the spermatozoa. Now we can see the hormonal regulation. Spermatogenesis is completely arrested at the primary spermatocyte stage until the time of maturity. It is restored by testosterone. Meiosis II is hormonally independent. Follicular stimulating hormone, that is the FSH, initiates spermiogenesis. Estradiol is also involved in the spermatogenic process. Hormonal effects are not direct on sperm cells but are mediated through Sertoli cells. Rate of production of spermatozoa is not influenced by endocrine secretions. Next one, effect of temperature. Sperm cells will not mature at core body temperature in most of the mammals. Hence, because the testes assume an external position, testicular descent from the abdomen normally occurs during fetal or neonatal life. Spermiation. It is the process by which spermatozoa are released from the seminiferous epithelium into the lumen of the tubule. Most of the cytoplasm and organelles of the spermatid is discarded within the seminiferous epithelium in the form of a residual body. A small amount of cytoplasmic material, that is the cytoplasmic droplet, remains attached within the neck region or around the middle piece of the spermatozoa. It will makes to moves into the epididymis. Then last one, further maturations. Spermatozoa lack motility and fertilization capacity in seminiferous tubules. During transmit through the epididymis, the cytoplasmic droplet from the middle piece migrate distally along the tail of the spermatozoon and it falls off, thus bringing increased cellular motility. Nevertheless, in some species, the full fertilizing potential of spermatozoa is not gained until the cells are affected by secretions of the female reproductive tract. These spermatozoa are said to be capacitated. So that means when these spermatozoa are present in seminiferous tubules, they cannot move. So they are moving along with the a bit of cytoplasm which is attached to the middle piece of the spermatozoa. Then it slowly reaches the epididymis. After then it is coming out. From there onwards it starts to move. It exhibits movement, motility. After coming out, after reaching the female reproductive tract, then when it touches with the secretions of female tract, then only it gets fertilization capacity. So these spermatozoa are said to be capacitated after reaching the female reproductive tract, after touching the secretions of the female tract. Thank you one and all. I hope you have understood well. If you have any doubt, you can raise, you can post your doubt in the our WhatsApp group or in Google Classroom. Thank you one and all.